This is day 1002 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Like sponsor of a share or more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please come me directly. Very greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Simon Tough Rage Peitas, Sif Vav, to Tough Rage Tzadik Sif Zion. Vav, Kasva Tuva Shulchan Aruch, Sif Gimel. Androgynous, Motzimi no, somebody who has both male and female genitals. He can exempt another androgynous, not a male or a female. Tumtum, somebody who has neither genitals, they are covered up and concealed. Bishachetzu Eben, so we don't know which one he is. Bishachetzu Eben, somebody who is half a slave, half free. Afil mino eno motzi cannot be motzi even other tumtums or other chatziyeh b'chatziyeh b'chorins. Akal shorah. Batamish and the dragons kulam shavim. All androgynuses are the same. Mashen Kain, it's a third gender. Mashen Kain Tumtum Yochel Yozeh Zochar B'Zedekeva, but by Tumtum, one might be male and the other female, because the genitals are covered up. We don't know what actually their gender is. Mechen Chetzu Evet Motzi Kulo Ben Chorin, Chetzi Evet can't exempt somebody who's completely free. But the side Avdus and Motzio, because the side of Avdus cannot be you can't. The side of Avdus is not capable of being motzi somebody who's not an Eved because he's not chayiv in the mitzvah the same way. But then said with Tosef Reish Megillah, but near the Zayin Lashita Sabhag, but that's only would be according to the Bahag. And Nashim ain't motzi so Nashim, but women can't be motzi men. Okay, if not, Lavan Dragos say the motzi shein men. You know why would not Dragos be motzi some of the other genders? It's no worse than a woman, so to speak. The tumtum lama and motzi tumtum acher. Same principle with the tumtum. Those who say the zegora. No, this is the words mibara in the cave than somebody's than a definite female. So the nikarim was in the cave because it's got to be recognizable, distinguishable if he's a male or a female. I'm not sure why, but that Mishnah also says that. Zeshan Dragonus Motzias Mino, Nikola Kosher Brevinaso, the reason why Dragonus is Motzias is because it's clear to everybody that he's a third gender. She is a third gender, independently of the other two. So therefore, saying with Chatzi, would that be saying with Chatzi have a Chatzi ben Chorin? He can't exempt a full ben Chorin. The evidence Chayev, both his half free and half slave are both mechuyev. Nevertheless, came which ain't side abdus nikolas, since the side which is enslaved is not distinct unto itself. It's not that's one the side which is free distinct unto itself. That doesn't work. Ain't motzi ben Chorin gomi. Can't exempt someone who's completely free. Avalat motzi, but he can motzi himself. According to being that holds that women cannot exempt others, it would seem that he also can't exempt himself. Because the side of him which is an Eved is trying to exempt the side which is a Ben Chorin. The issue I feel is that's when Motzi, but so Ramah wrote that some people say that he can't even be Motzi himself; he has to hear from others. This is again according to the Bahag. Shein Isha Motzia Ish. It's like a woman can't exempt a man. The side of Avdus cannot exempt the side of Cherus. Amashe Motzia Acher Ben Chorin, but he can't exempt somebody else's free. Tumtum Acher. Tumtum can't exempt another tumtum. Androgynous ain't Motzia Shenamino, and androgynous cannot exempt somebody who is not an androgynous. Zafil man is really the Isha Motzia Ish. This is even according to being holds that a woman can't be Motzia a man. According to this, because it's not clear. Are you a woman? Are you a man? And evidently, in order for this perspective, which it has to be clear, it has to be distinct. You have to know basically what the story is in being motzi. This is the Magen Avram. But this is very difficult. Says Arukh HaShulchan. It seems more likely the Rashi Taisus Leica Kohen Dinim, or is the halachas not by according to Rashi Taisus. The Leisel Chosokah Tosefta Pili Shas halachas not like Tosefta according to our Gemara. For I Brula Davar clear evidence. Sharam Elois Kil Kambadim Male Ram doesn't mention these halachas at all. So it's really Rashi Taisus because he also obviously Taisus that Nashim Shabbos Nashim that women are equivalent to men. So also can exempt the definite males. And so too the half slave whose halacha is like a woman. Brackets says Kain Yirel and he was Taiti. Zayin Hashman Megillah Mishu Mutar Hanoimen. You hear Megillah from somebody from whom you are forsworn deriving any benefit. Yotza, Yotzim, it's Slavnesnidu. It's not given to provide pleasure. Kasar Beta Beis if hey Mokum Shein Minyan. But he says it's in a place where there's no minyan. One person knows how to lane, the others don't know. Echapotas kulam, he exempts all of them. But if they all know, kulam kurin latzmam, kol echad kurin latzmam, he should read independently. So he holds that which people are yotze by hearing, even though they are fluent in the Megillah. Zeb meaning asar, so if there's a minyan. Abashlo basar, if there's intent. One cannot be motzi another person, and can't chaver ein abaki the cross unless the other person is not familiar with the reading. In that case, it's like it's extenuating circumstances. It's like the sofer, the Talmud Chacham makes the bracha, and the boor, the boor, who's an amoretz, is yoytze. But didn't make such a takana. They didn't allow such a takana for one person who's fluent in Megillah to motzi another person who's fluent. That that tefillah v'lo l'shar brachas and mitzvahs, and this in fact it's like tefillah, not like other brachas and mitzvahs. Other brachas and mitzvahs, no issue on one being motzi many. No contrary. Those argue. No matter what, one person can exempt his friend. The mitzvah it's a mitzvah like any other mitzvah. It's not a davar sheb'kedusha like kedusha or kaddish, which requires 10. But on the contrary, even if it's less than 10, it's better than one person should read for everybody else. Because when many people participating in the same mitzvah, so then it's called when there are more people, it's more honor to the king. And they don't have to read together. They can read each one independently if there aren't 10. Avaloshia dafka kain. So it's not that it's specifically you have to lane each one independently if there's less than 10. And that's the custom that one person is motzi many people, even if there are less than 10. Mishnah Berurah's opinion about this and doesn't make a determination. So the Arukh HaShulchan you can rely on. Tafrei Tzadik, a nice long siman. Dina Kriyas Megillah. Was it reading the Megillah? Aleph. Shono Chachamim. Boy, we have a lot to do today. Shono Chachamim Mishnah. Chachamim to the Mishnah. Kriyas Megillah. Omeid v'yoshev. The person who you can read the Megillah standing and sitting. Perish Rashi explains Imratza Omeid Imratza Yoshev. If you want stand, you want sit. Before I feel Chachil Yochel Yikos Misham. So for him, it's clear that even the Chatchila, you can deliberately read sitting down. Abishami Park Mabidi Eved. Abishami rejects it, says, maybe the Eved is yours to sing down. Chatchila low. That should not be the Chatchila. Umitarates, but answers, Nafil Chatchila. Ayin Sham, that is the Chatchila to be sitting down. Sitting down. Yishum da Girsa, I guess that's, not sure, is Rashi quotes Yerushalmi? I don't know. But in any event, it says, Mishum da Girsa Yerushalmi Oimed v'yoshev yotza. Standing and sitting, yotze. No matter what, doesn't matter. And because of Ram is so Girsa Satur, because of Akrois Omed or Yoshev yotza. Doesn't matter how you read it, but Mash b'di'evet. Only sounds like b'di'evet. After fact. Yerushalmi Kamar Fil Chatchila, v'chulei, Yerushalmi says, even the Chatchila, supposed, I guess, according to this, to the Bavli. Mishnah says, regardless, the bracha have to make standing up. And those people who hear the bracha also have to stand up. It says the status, at least quasi status of Davar Kedusha. Beis, Rambam Perik Beis, the Din Yuzayin Kosav. The Rambam writes, you read it standing or sitting in Yetziv. I feel b'tzibur, even if you read it b'tzibur, you can still be sitting. But you should not deliberately sit in public. Because it diminishes the honor of the congregation. And now it makes sense that which Rabbi Yonossi distinguished between the Chatchila and B'di'evet. If it's not in the tzibur, people can sit down even deliberately. But tzibur dafka B'di'evet, the people, not people, the person's being motzi. The prayer leader, if there's less than 10, or the tzibur if there's more than 10. L'chein l'shayla shikra Ruvain ba'bracha yibarach Shimon. Also have to split the brachas. I mean the bracha from the kriya. 1 second. Mishabura says in Bir Halacha that even though normally standing by leaning on something is not standing for a Mikra Megillah, it is. It's an interesting caveat. Sharatzion says it seems to be that it's L'chatchila that you should stand. No, that's something else. It's here. Baruch Shimon. Mishabura says, yeah, each time has to have kabbalah to be motzi the people who are listening. Well, the person makes brachas and the person who's leaning. This was a Yisham Mishkina, so Rabbi Meir Ayin Sham. This is Rabbi Meir did. He evidently stood for the bracha and sat for the laning. The Anala Koi the Kosim Gil Ad Shomer Lo Kra. Some Yisham you're going to he's told by somebody present to read. Achim Yeshal said about Kriya Kavua, but if the person who's laning is the person who's the regular Baal Koire, ain't so come to him as the Tibur does not wait for the Tibur's permissions to start. Came with Shumuchal is because he's designated right for this purpose. You know, two people reading together in the Megillah. The Sharatzian says some language of the sorry. Sharatzian says Chatchila, but they can sit. Is that what's about here? No, they can split it, the bracha. Right. No, that's not what's going on. What's this doll here? Oh, we didn't read it yet. That's why. Never mind. We didn't read the text of Arukh HaShulchan yet. Two people or more can read together. So in this language, it's mashma that it's even the chatchila. They didn't read together. But the Rambam Miri sound like it's only be the Ebed. And we say that you can hear, since it's chaviv, you can hear the words. As he's about to say, normally we say that two voices cancel each other out. People give their hearts and incline their heads and their ears and they listen. Shabur says it's obvious that if he feels that there was too much confusion about the sounds he was hearing, he can't hear all the words, he's definitely not Yotze. So we be careful about this. That's not the minhag, he says, to have more than one person read. We don't do a choir for Mikra Megillah. These are only mishtok. People should be careful to be silent. Below a sale not to help the person who's leaning. Came the oilam showing about peh mitoch chumash, since the oilam is hearing from about peh, they're not holding on to anything. Chumash should be out of a chumash. So lo mitoch Megillah, not out of a kosher Megillah. Chashir sheshmei yishma man of lo me'akorei. We're afraid that the person who hears is going to hear the other person who's I guess the other person here, the second person is tagging along. He's not like a part of a choir, but he's a tag along. So below a curve, any yoitze, in which case it's not yoitze. Cloud with Sif tests, as we shall see. Shabura says, according to this, if you're calling only one person, in other words, about the Koreh, it's being for audience of one, so then he can read together with the Koreh out of a Megillah Psul or out of a Chumash. Even out of a Megillah Psul or a Chumash. But some people are machmir no matter what. Okay, it sounds like you could, if you could say something, it sounds like you could sign simultaneously. Okay, in any event, what's next? We did this, and Zion. Sharatzian says According to this reason, even if you read the Megillah from a kosher Megillah, you have to be careful to read. In other words, the person in the audience, the tzibur. If he's reading a kosher Megillah, he's allowed to read it, but he has to be careful to do it in an undertone and not to help the chazan out, uh, unless he has in mind also to mimotzi everybody pays attention to his secondary kriya. But since we're afraid that the people latch on a secondary kriya, to circumvent the problem, the secondary kore also has to um, uh, not it says chazan. I'm not sure why not. Uh, unless he says the again unless the person who's helping has in mind to be motzi everybody else and who plays that shame and not to shlei tzibur. Okay, we cover all bases. Kimakasa Rashba B'Tshuvas. The Rashba wrote, "Tzarech Hashemel Lishma Kol Teva V'Teva Makori." After each and every word from the person laying the Megillah. V'Chol Meir Shetofa is beyond the Megillah Shein Sheiro Lichos Ba. Somebody's holding a non-kosher Megillah to read out of it. Garia Tuva. It's much worse. Mishnah Shkorosov and two people reading it. The nation knows in Das because about Megillah because he's paying attention to the Kriya and that Megillah. Hakal Shano. Klomar meaning Shetovia says Shishma Ba Peh Me'Akori. She'll hear orally from the person named Megillah. Oh, she'd post biyodo Megillah Ksheira. In other words, you should even remain silent and listen. Or if you have Megillah Ksheira, then you're allowed to mumble along in an undertone. The Kshev Tevez Megillah she'ein Kshev, holding out the Megillah, which is not kosher, v'umer gankein atevez itoch ha-Megillah, so absolutely saying the words out of his puzzle Megillah, lo yata, it's not going to pay attention to the main reader. It's not like two people who heard it, who are hearing from two different people. That's because he himself is not laning. As opposed to when he's laning by himself. He doesn't have in mind the person who's also reading. I know what I just read. Okay, that which Treikali Lomishtam is not a problem. Because he's not reading himself, so he can focus. As opposed to if he's reading himself, he doesn't have in mind the second person's leaning, and he's reading out of Megillah Psula. He comes out bald on both sides. It's best to be holding out the chumash. Sheishtok Abishma Rakakoi to be maintained and only listen to the person's leaning. And the ancient ones wrote, "Shechazan Korea Megillah, when the Chazan Megillah, Tzichem Atzibur Lishtok, the Tzibur has remained silent. The Chavi Daita Makare, and to pay a focus on the reader who's leaning for the Tzibur, and Yesh Lazarus Amazon, you have to warn people of this. I am received tests. Dalit, but Mishnah Nechla Kukama Yechiva the Kriyas Megillah. How far do you have, what part of Megillah do you have to be in order to be Yotze? And Mary, Mer Kulik, I read the whole thing. I mean, from Ish Yudi, which is in Perak Bay's Pasuk Hey. From Mina Bagmara, Halacha Dibra Mer Kula. The Halacha is like opinion, we're told you have to say the entire Megillah, or hear the entire Megillah. For the Manamar, Ish Yehudi, and even if you hold, you can start from Ish Yehudi, Tzricha Shetei Ksuba Kula. It's got to be completely written there. The Manamar says, Kol Megillah Tzricha Shetihei Ksuba Shlemus. So that every Megillah you're going to use has to be written completely out. Before it said turn up, but he shmit by sofer osios, and the sofer left out letters of psukim or whole verses. The Korah Kore, the reader read them Baal Peh Yotza. Uporech, and asked there mehod the time for that which learned hoy ba osios mitushtoshos. What if it had unclear letters that smudged on the cross of the rip? Imushuma nika kshera. If you can tell their impression is still there, it's kosher. Vilab Sula. And if not, it's possible. So here, Yeah, meaning the kula im ein mishum nikar psula. If the entire thing you can't tell what's written there, it's possible. Besides, if you have a small amount of it is not intelligible, it's kosher. If you say hiksha, uh, but the kind of armor the shemitzasa chaser kshera. Here it says when part of it is missing, it's okay. But kind of armor tzricha shlei kusi b'kula, and then you say it has to be all there. Vare ad ishudi have a muta, and up to ishudi is the minority of the Megillah because that's psula. Yeah, it's possible, nevertheless, if you don't, uh, if you between the beginning and the end and the middle. The barosh the sof at the beginning and end. I feel we can start miuta psula, even if it's missing a little bit, it's possible. And saw kshera ad ruba, and in the middle it's kosher up to if it's up to the majority. So this is very difficult to understand. The Arukh HaShulchan says in Hey, it's hard to understand. Mine and Zelazeh. What does that have one to do with the other? How much you lay into whether the Megillah has to be whole or not. The matter eating of Sholem, certainly the matter of Sholem, Shechaser. Oh, Megillah, it's missing. Psula, it's possible. I feel Miuta if it's missing a minority of the Megillah. That and that is that has to be completely written. That was in the minority. It's okay. Zel bashmatas tevos. That's when they're missing words or psukim or matushtrashim or they're rubbed out or crime and they're ripped. But shamash mata lo shayach inyan sholet. Shamash mata shayach inyan sholet. But it's not shayach to call it just something which is missing if it's an entire matter. Kmo harbe psukim zachazet like a main psukim one after the other. Because that's should take that is called missing and has to be completely written. Ava pasuk echad bekan, the pasuk echad bekan. You have one pasuk missing here, one pasuk missing there. Al zeh shem hashmata. Okay, that there's something missing, but not that uh, it's. I guess it's not a chisan chalei shem megillah. If you're missing a lot of it, then it doesn't go chalei shem megillah. Missing one pasuk here and one pasuk there, it's still it's considered like something's missing hashmata, but it's no, yeah, it's hashmata, and certainly the letters missing, and possibly here, possibly is missing there, and certainly be missing letters. So that's not called pleasant possible. It's still Shem Megillah. It's called hashmata. You left something out. Koshket Osias is certainly true about letters which are missing. In other words, part of the word is missing. The shlushim or it's faded or it's become scribbled. Chem is by Divya Rama Perek Beis Einsham. You read the Gam Kamenas Rashki and Zeh says Rashki also is the same way. The Shem Hashmata Lo Shaykh Barosh Sof. The concept that's why at the beginning and the end it's no good no matter what, no matter how small the discrepancy, because you can't call it Hashmata if it's the beginning and the end. Brosha Rak Be'emtza Lashon Hashmata. You say something's missing, the missing gap in the middle. Varosh was so shaykh l'shon chesron. He's on the contrary, missing something at the beginning and end. That's not called hashmata. Something was messed up. It's called flawed. I should say it's not called flawed, which would be hashmata. It's called puzzle. No, it's called falling short. We're missing something. It's not that something. It's a hard to translate difference in nuance in language, but chisaron is no good. Hashmata is okay. Maybe you're missing one word, one letter in a word here or there. Even in the end, it's still called hashmata and not a chisaron. Would still be kosher. Tzarachian is not clear. But Yesh Yishkashib Zeh one has to analyze this. Sharatzion says, if you're missing words in the first pasuk or the last pasuk, you don't have to be machmir. Not sure. The first pasuk and the last pasuk are Tchila v'Soif, and that's not a big problem. I don't know what he's referring to here. But I don't miss that Brachmir. Okay, says not to be Machmir. But the two issues that there are the two has a different approach. The Kosav Zelshon, he says, certainly Kosav Kuli have to be completely mitoch haksav out of writing. Kral Peh, if you read it verbally, lo yotza. You are not yotze. You have a tzarech the neksu of kulo in front of him, has been in its entirety in front of him. It's preferable. But the evening, Hishmael sofa tables. If the sofa left out letters, apil archetzia malchus. You left out half of the letters. And therefore the reader read it about peh yotza. If it's more than half. Afilu ksuvas, even they're written. But they're rubbed out. And their impression is not recognizable. So it's possible. Svila two holds. The Zesham Mitzvah should take Suba Kul, that which you said has been completely written. Zel Lechatchila, that's preferable. The Zesham Shishmita Sofer tables of Psukim Ad Rubak Shera. Instead, if you left out up to the majority, it's kosher. Zel with the Evet. Makes sense. So that's a rush from that's also being the rush. But he says in brackets, whatever they ask in the rush from Rabbi Chelbo, it's not difficult at all. Okay, Zayin, Rabbi say about the Shulchan Aruch. This is a long day. Keep checking back to make sure it's this long. Rabbi say about the Shulchan Aruch, but see if we're going to keep a call days behind. They brought down all the opinions together. Shkasim Tzar should take Suva Kula in front of the Chatchila. It's got to be the Chatchila written entirely in front of him. But if the evening, Mishmita, so for Bemsa, the Emsa tables, I'll be the Chatchila, the Sofer had attacked the beginning and end. And he immediately, up to Chatzia Malchus, he had left out. The Korea Peh, and therefore the person's being had to read a Peh. Yotze. He's Yotze. Shabur says, if it's 50-50, it's a question, half kosher, half possible. Which way do you go? The Mishnah also writes, if he doesn't have another Megillah, he can read the Chatchila from this damaged Megillah. If he left at the beginning or the end, I feel mutam in a minority, so I don't feel not fulfill the obligation. But I feel emsa in the middle, tafka shlish medium shalom, if you didn't leave out an entire matter. But if it's more than half damaged, even they're written but they are rubbed out. Nikar, he can't go there. Pesula to save it to his possible, you have to start from scratch. Hakam and Shoina or the Megillah. We don't, and Bialach says we don't reckon half or roasted by the number of letters, but by the number of words. Therefore, even a minority of the letters are rubbed out, as long as in each word or in the majority of words. Oh, b'chol teva, in each and every word in the Megillah, or Bruber, or most of the words in the Megillah, os metushlash, they were in some scribbles kind of a way. Puzzle, it's no good. Scribbles kind of wrong term. Rubbed out. So going on here. Nikar, Pesula. And that the Mishnah Berurah is saying that we go by the number of words. If even the minority of words are rubbed out, as long as there are enough words, enough letters in each word, or in the majority. Yeah, the entire word or most of it is rubbed out. That's so good. But if a minority of it is rubbed out, then it would be still okay. Maybe I'll from it.